Hello and welcome to Velocity Kinetics again. We're back after our period of quiet. It's been quite difficult. As you can see, I've completely changed location. I'm no longer in the northeast. I'm down in sunny Suffolk. Sunny-ish when the sun's shining. Let's have a look. Ski. Can you see out the windscope? That's what I've got going on out the back there, rather than what I had in so I'm just trying to get my camera more central as I sort this out. More sunny than I had down in up in South Shields, should I say. It's been quite a difficult 3 weeks. TalkTalk turned my internet off early when they shouldn't have done, so I've had to take time off work. I've been on the phone playing Twitter tag for anyone who follows me on Twitter, with them sort of, what in the hell are you doing? It's been absolutely nuts. Then when we went to move, we got a giant Ford Transit Luton van. Speaking of hire, because we hired the Luton van. Don't use a company called Nationwide Hire. Just don't. The reason why we say don't use Nationwide Hire, Nationwide is sort of a go-between for a lot of other car hire companies. So when they say on their website they've got a car available, they don't necessarily actually have that car available, which is problematic, especially when you're counting on having that car available, or van, or whatever it is you've hired, and then you'll go to Nationwide Hire. You'd think it'll turn up with a van or whatever it is you've hired with their logo on side, and for us a van from Enterprise turned up. And more annoyingly, because the man who was driving the van for us, apparently I could have driven it, but I would have thought the vehicle was far too big for my standard license, although they claimed, another company I spoke to claimed I could definitely drive it, but I'm sure it's not under the grandfather rules. I'll need to have a look into it. The van was eventually delivered a day and a half late to the wrong address, and keys put through the wrong door. Thankfully not 5 minutes from where it should have actually been dropped off. Not even that, maybe not even 2 minutes from where it was actually dropped off. It's supposed to be dropped off. But nonetheless, we had all those problems. Then driving at stupid o'clock at night, a couple of times, or stupid o'clock in the morning. It's been something. To finally get in, I've missed the Formula 1. I haven't really been able to keep up with it as much as I'd like, because I was on data, and whilst I'm with giffgaff, and I've been with them for a long time, if anyone's looking to go to giffgaff in the UK, I can give you a referral link if you want, because you get extra credit for joining up. I get credit for joining up. So, if you're thinking about it, message me and I can certainly issue you a link. So it's been tough. It's been tiring, especially during all the heat we had. We had a few really hot days. That was something. I don't want to know what I smelled like at the end of that, because we were in the middle of moving, not able to get a shower and things like that. But by the time I finally did get a shower about 3 days later, fucking hell. So there we are. Then the costs involved in moving. I've now got to spend the rest of the week from when this is being recorded. This is being recorded on the 17th. I've got to spend the rest of the week playing phone tag to get my car insurance changed over. I need to find out if the DVLA are accepting licenses at the moment to change my license. I need to find my V5 to get the vehicle's registered location changed. And if you fill out the V5 document wrong, it'll accidentally change it so the car has... So it'll read like at DVLA that the car has got a new owner, even though you are the same owner, you've just moved house. Oh, that's my Facebook making a ping. That's Sarah messaging. And as of today, the internet is supposed to be turned on. It's turned on my phone. My Wi-Fi works. But because I run my PC on a wired connection, because for gaming and uploading these videos, I prefer to do it over wired. My Xbox, which is just quite literally down there now, that's wired as well, because I prefer, again, faster and more stable connection. Can't get that online. I've got a smart TV. Don't really use the smart TV for its smart purposes, but that doesn't work either. Can't get that online. TalkTalk have claimed should be done by the end of today, but I've not had any confirmation of BT doing what they were supposed to do, so I'm at a complete loss, because the phone number they've issued us doesn't work. I can call it. It says this number is not in operation. So something somewhere has gone very amiss. So this new house, it's really nice. Driveway is a very odd configuration. Because the house is on a hill that shares with 3 other cottages, you're not supposed to park your car on the hill unless you're quite literally taking something out of the car to drop in the house to then finish parking your car. That's pretty much all you're allowed to do. So I've got where our house is at the top of the hill, and I've got to go around a garage and then park on a concrete slab. Problem with that is it's very tight, it's very narrow, and there's no light when you're doing it in the dark. I've either got to reverse my car around, but then that's relying on someone else not parking their car at a garage that's on the way up the hill, or someone not just doing something in one of the garages that they're permitted to do so, obviously, going up the hill. Or I've got to do like a 98-point turn on the concrete slab, because I don't particularly want to start driving on the guy's nice lawn, because it really is really nice. And then there seems to be a bit of a wasp problem around where my car is, so I'm going to have to find a way to get some peppermint oil or something like that, or peppermint plants, because apparently that is a natural wasp repellent. What else has gone on? I've had an argument within my family. It was one of these things that I'll admit I probably shouldn't have said what I said and the way I shouted it at this person, but at the same time, the other person won't stop doing what they're doing until you start shouting back. And they're really taken aback that I didn't. It's like, well, and they're sort of trying to play the victim. It's like, don't do that. You're not the victim. Stop talking to people like they're a piece of shit, and then maybe we'll be talking. But anyway, it's been quite interesting. So, with the change of location, does that change anything for Velocity? Oh, God. I've got mess on my top. Been cleaning the bottom saucepans, because with now having a halogen hob instead of a questionable gas one, and to clean all my saucepans up on the bottom. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see some of the cakes and things just general food dishes I've made, and need to clean the bottom of the pans up really well, because with it being a halogen hob, if it's not cleaned, the stickiness and gooiness or whatever will just transfer to that hob and bake on, and also bake it on even harder on the bottom of the pan. So that's from Fairy Liquid and Brillo pads. But anyway, before I went off on that tangent, what does this mean for Velocity Kinetics, if it means anything at all? Well, it doesn't mean a damn thing, really, for Velocity Kinetics. I'm changing job, still with the same company, just different part of the business. The only thing that I hope will change is I feel a little bit different now, as in, hopefully my mood will be a little bit more predictable. Because some of the videos, I'm sure if you watch them back, I'm probably seconds away from going, and I'm going to go slit my wrists, or something of a similar suicidal nature. The problem is with that, why that was a bit questionable. Ultimately, now this move down here has been Sarah's doing. If she wanted to stay up in the northeast, I would have stayed. If it hadn't been for Sarah, so if I'd never met her, I probably would have come back to the southeast, come back to East Anglia, come back to Suffolk, Norfolk a long time ago. Problem is, I don't know whether people who might watch this in different countries have the same thing, but I'm sure maybe not quite to the extreme like in New York or in New Orleans sort of thing, or some from New Orleans in New York, but maybe they might feel the same. Ultimate problem is I just felt like I didn't belong. I've been up there a long time. I'd sort of made myself an honorary northerner, but it wasn't my home. It's not my home. Lovely place to be though, and I will say this as a southerner, and people would say, how dare you betray your allegiances, if there are any sort of allegiances to betray. People up there that you'll run into in the street, for the most part, are far nicer than the people you run into in the south. It's just the way it is. People in Newcastle, if you stop and ask them, if you're like, sorry, I'm lost, can you help me? Like, can he help you? Let's go this way. And they'll tell you where to go. Whereas down south, it's, excuse me, can you help me? Ah, fuck off, mate. You know, it's not particularly good. So the only thing the only real changes on Velocity Kinetics might go through, I might be more of a more consistent temperament. It's just also more an area that I like. I'm living now in the same village my granddad used to live in when he was like before he went to a care home. So he was living here 2016, I think, is when he went into the care home. And my aunt lives in this village too. It's a sort of villagey life is kind of what I'm more accustomed to. Heavy city living is not my thing. As nice as South Shields could be in the right places, to be honest, a lot of it was that house we were in just took a lot of it out of me. If anyone's people describe this about cars. Oh god, I've got a pad mess everywhere. People describe this about cars as well as houses, but this house, the house we were in, I can only describe it as it was a house that liked to fight back. Much like you might have a car that likes to fight back. You might fix one thing, and it feels like, okay, well, you fixed that, now I'm going to just break something else. It's like a toddler. You get them pacified with one thing, and then they'll get angry and cross and break something else. So hopefully on that front we'll be a little bit more consistent as in temperament. I'm hoping. I mean, I might have, not entirely sure, but I'm going to be trying to lose weight. Key thing with weight loss, anyone who has to do it. Now, if anyone in real life who I know who knows me will know what my views are on weight loss. Not as in, oh, I shouldn't have to. It's not that. There are some people who seem to make weight loss a stupid goal. People who don't need to lose weight. It's like, no, you don't need to lose weight. You might need to go to the gym and tone up a bit. So you might need to improve your fitness. You might need to just tone your muscles a bit, tone your stomach, tone your butt, tone your abs, whatever you need to do. You don't need to go on a diet. People, sadly like me and Sarah, who are quite predisposed to being big, our life is entirely about losing weight. As in, we've got to be careful what we eat. If we overindulge somewhere, it's wrong to say we've got to underindulge elsewhere, because it implies we're starving ourselves. But it just means if we overindulge somewhere, it's like, right, you can't do that again this week. Not ideal, but as in, it's not ideal to have to constantly watch and monitor every portion size, everything you buy, everything you cook. Sometimes I love nothing more than to just to order pizza and just eat and not have to worry about the consequences around the waistband like a lot of people can. If I do something like that, I am usually very aware of the consequences. I have to then watch my weight very, very carefully. Now, I know compared to some Velocity Kinetics videos, I stumbled across them when I was doing work from home, watching things for a background noise. It's like, you know what, I've slapped a lot of weight on in the time I've been doing Velocity Kinetics, and I'd hate to say it, but I've got to have put on, just based around what my chin looks like, I've got to put on somewhere in the 5 stone mark. I just have to have, because in some of the earlier ones, I haven't got a multiple chin, a mega multiple chin, should I say. Some of them have got more defined under here, but that said, I didn't have a goatee, so maybe it's just skin merging into skin. But I'd say I've got to put on somewhere in the region of 5 stone, so there'll be a bit of weight loss, hopefully, happening. If Sarah's in any of the videos, there'll be a bit of weight loss too. Hopefully if she's in any soon, you will see some weight loss in her, because with her working through the COVID crisis, because she was one of the student nurses that opted in, she has lost about 12-14 kilos, which is phenomenal. There might be more of these videos done on the move rather than sat in front of the computer. Combination of to get walking, burn calories, and crack on. So far it's a new location, so hopefully better mood, bit of weight loss, might be doing more videos on the move. The other thing that might change, not necessarily for all the videos, but because I now live really close to my brother, where he lives at the moment with my parents, is only about 20 minutes drive away from here, I think. Because I live now a lot closer to my brother, he might be in more videos, whether that's him behind the camera, in front of the camera. So Velocity Kinetics might become more of a 2-person project rather than a 1-person project. Now, I'm pleased with what I've been able to put out so far this year and the amount I've managed to put out, because I think I've done more than in the last 2 years, if I remember the number of videos correctly. I've put so many more videos out. The videos, they're still mostly sub 10 views, but they're picking up. The videos are getting a little bit of traction here and there. So let's say you might see my brother in a few more videos. You might see us redoing some older style videos. So for instance, we might do back-to-back again because we've learned from our mistakes. So I haven't got external mic, so that might still be a problem, but you know, might be something we might do more, try and review and re-review a thing. So you might see 4 or 5 reviews of the Baleno even though it's not going to be covering anything new. It's just trying to find a style and trying to see if we can push things in that direction, because I'd like to start being able to review nice saloons, like some Alphas and some Audis and some Volvos. But you know, if it's one of these things like, you know what, I just can't do it, as in I just not got the charisma or personality for it, what's the point? That's pretty much the only change that's other change that's going to happen. It's still going to be me for the most part, and like I say, you might see the occasional appearance of Sarah, but we'll see what happens going forwards. I thank you all for bearing with the page whilst we went dark briefly. I'm glad I've got another week's leave at the moment, because I just need to switch off and unwind and chill a bit. Sarah's not with me until the 24th, which is painful to say the least. More because this might sound super sappy, but it's like, well, we're engaged. Of course, this should be perfectly normal, as in the feelings, not what's going on. But at the moment, if I'm remembering everything correctly, in the time that Sarah and I have been living together, we've lived together since 2015. This stretch from when I left South Shields down to on the 17th day. I think I left on the 12th, if I remember rightly. Sounds about right. Yes, because the 12th came down, 13th my mum was off and helped us out with some stuff. 14th I was back on my Todd Saturday. Yeah, so it's the 12th I came down. So she and I have not been apart for that long. Longest we've been apart has been about 6 days at most, maybe 7. So it's been a real trying time, to say the least. Real difficult, but hopefully not for too much longer. I had hoped, because this house has got a nice little shed out in the garden, I'd hoped to be able to maybe just convert the shed into the Velocity Kinetics hut. Unfortunately, because the kitchen's not big enough to put the dryer or our fridge freezer in, the shed, it's got a concrete floor, that's why we can do this, but the shed's got the fridge freezer and the dryer in. So I can't do have a Velocity Kinetics hut. The other shed we got in the garden belongs to the landlord, and that's where he keeps his lawnmower. Not sure I'm completely happy with him keeping his gardening tools and things on this property, but it's his property, and he's a pretty nice landlord so far. And I say so far because you don't know, because the landlord might become shitty because of their own personal circumstances. But so far it's all been really good. He's super nice. Yeah, we'll see what's going on. I am going to make a start on the how to drive videos. Peter will most likely be in those, because I'll need another camera. I'll either need to camera it and he does the modelling, or Vicky Verky. But either way, stuff's happening. Please please donate to the page, because for things like back to back or any car review or even the external mic, I've got to dip into my own pocket for that, and YouTube just doesn't deliver enough money. It doesn't deliver any money. There is another blog piece coming out just shortly after this one, which explains the YouTube problem, and it's written blog this time. It's not a video blog. So thanks very much for watching. Share the page, like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel, donate what you can to us on the PayPal link, and we'll see you in the next one when we can maybe make a start on some new content.